Morning, guys. Morning, Morris. Guys. A couple of minutes in normal.
Each air bath at its own temperature and humidity rates, which cause turbulence in the front that creates clouds and storms.
Mute yourself. Then you've got the radio buzzing in the background, if you don't mind. If I'll mute you all, and I'll just a reminder, I'll mute just now. Okay, no problem. I will unmute. Thanks, Marty. No problem. Okay, unmuted. Good stuff. Just jealous because it might be more interesting than what I have to say. That's why I had to mute it, Marty.
Good morning, everybody.
Goeiemorgen.
Goeiemorgen, hoe gaan dit? How are you?
Well, a little bit better than yesterday, but we should see. Hopefully, it'll be better this afternoon. That's what I'm looking forward to. It'll be better this afternoon. He'll get my smile back in the face. Yesterday was a soddy disaster.
Yeah, we will smile this afternoon. Believe me, we will smile.
I like your attitude. I like your attitude. Hope it comes to. Yeah.
Nope. Stupid things going to be done, and no fingers going to be slipped or anything. Just everything is just going to go well.
Great. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I like it because I still don't know why that happened. I've been listening to Bloomberg this morning, and there's nothing concrete why that actually happened. There's been stuff sent out, but they're very wishy-washy. So I think that was just, well, an unknown, basically. Can't figure it out. I discussed the strategy room in the morning as well, why that happened. Because it's not so much the loss, it's why. That's how we learn. And yeah, just as I say, no one's come up to what I can call a viable reason. So I just put it down to say it happened.
No, it's absolutely ridiculous. If you look at the amount that it fought and now the strengthening of the euro again, it's less than 20% back upwards. So I don't know what's cooking.
Yeah.
The whole of Europe is upside down. I mean, if you look at, there was no inflation. CPI for Switzerland was 0.0, and at this point in time, Switzerland is the weakest currency.
Yeah,
according to the tables. I don't understand it. But by the way, Annemarie, baie geluk met jou en Dirk se troudag. Ek hoop daar is nog baie goeie jare vir julle voor, jong.
Baie dankie.
Dis 'n mylpaal.
Dis 'n halwe eeu. Ek weet nie hoe ons dit reg gekry nie, maar ons het dit reg gekry.
En hy het nog al sy hare, so dit wys vir jou jy sit stil op sy kop.
Ja. Maar ons is spierwit hare, ja. Maar ons het nog ons hare, ja.
Yeah, but if you compare Raj, he's somewhat blessed, or it is Telly Savalas look, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I know what the word bless is. I remember all blessed bridges. Yeah, I know what bless means. But that's about all I picked up from there. I was going to make some facetious comment saying, I don't agree with any of your financial outlooks. I agree with what you're talking about.
But in any case, in Afrikaans, there's a saying that as soon as a man turned blessed, it's his wife that are sitting on his head. She's not quiet enough, and that's why he's losing his hair that badly.
I know a bit of a naughty story actually about a bald head. But anyway, the old joker says a balder guy's more sexy. Well, my wife doesn't agree with, unfortunately.
I think my son will agree with you because he's been shaving his head since he was still in his 20s. So yeah.
I'm quite lucky there actually, because I in my later years, I'm going in where it's actually shaving the head seems to be fashionable. You know, the youngsters shaving their head, and it seems to be the sort of a macho look, and a slightly unshaven look as well. You know, the bald head with slightly unshaven look seems to be the macho. Yeah. But if the women like it or not, but yeah, apparently that's the way it is.
Yeah, well,
Hair's definitely out now.
at least I'm too lazy to do the shaving exercise. So take it from me. Winter time is hibernation time as well.
Well, it's for me. I know the price of this bar of soap, but I have no idea the price of shampoo because I can't remember when I last used shampoo. It's not a lot to shampoo. Anyway, it's all great fun. Friday probably won't be many trades going out today. I'm pretty sure of that. We haven't got any. I haven't got any. So we might as well have a bit of fun leading into hopefully the positive aspect of Anna Marie there. That we have a nice one to make up for yesterday. But yeah, guys. But the thing where I sit, the problem is a lot of guys, as we all know, do not tender TR. And they, unfortunately, in my opinion, rely utterly and totally on signals. And I think, what's the point of buying a course if you're just going to not even learn and just go buying on signals? You might as well just follow signals. And they obviously they get upset about it. One guy said, "I can't handle this. I'm out of here," sort of thing. And it's difficult to explain that I'm just as fed up as he is. You know, I didn't want to get smacked on it, but they don't know. You see, and that's why it's important to know why. Otherwise, you're going to think this idiot here is just sending it for the sake of it. I mean, one of the guys says, "Why don't we get more signals?" And I said, "Well, economic challenges, sorry, not even challenges, sorry, where is economic challenges? Economic fundies coming out this week means we had to scratch a bit, and the scratching didn't actually produce much joy. So, yeah." But as you know, if we get them, we'll send them. We've had several. A lot of guys said, "Can't do it, haven't got enough margin." It's feast or famine a lot of the times, but that's the brunt you've got to bear it. And I can't be rude and turn around, but if you did a few classes, you'd understand why, you know what I mean? And that's what we're trying to do, teach a person how to fish, not just grab the fish off the line from somebody else's rod, if you know, sort of mix the metaphors here. But that's a general idea anyway. But anyway, so anyway, morning and welcome. It's the sunshine, it's raining in Joburg anyway, raining all bloody day yesterday. And through the night, but anyway, at least the sun's come back out again. I'm pleased to say, so maybe it'll be a sunny day. Okay, yeah. What about your NZD? Oh yeah, because we were just talking about it. You were talking about it just now. Okay, even the Euro JPY is coming out to bite as well. Look at that. I think it's been stopped out. It's not the NZD JPY. Sorry, wrong one. NZD JPY. Well, it's come off a little bit, but I thought that might hopefully come right. But even that's now down a bit. So yeah, yesterday was not was a day of trading infamy. If you remember Roosevelt's, this day will stand in infamy when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. This was there yesterday was standard. They have traders room trading infamy. Anyway, right. So where were we? A little bit of Euro NZD's out, GBP, AUD's out. We might get rescued on this one, so keep your fingers crossed we get rescued on the non-farms later on, and then we smile on my face. Don't forget our little arrangement there. Just a reminder, Jose, you know what it is. I'll give more details. That's Mr. Fernandez. Just remind me as we spoke about, and then hopefully we'll do some good stuff. Okay, right. Not much really to talk about, to be honest. In that area, see, I'm still in. That's just a bit of a profit here, it's all right. As you can see, I'm going on the 1 hourly. It's just drifting. Expect drifting today. It's a very important one coming out, as they all are really. And Wednesday, don't forget the CPI. We'll do another 2 o'clock session there as well. These two coming up are sort of interfering with large movement. And it's creating sort of shallow up and downs, a lot of sideways. people want to get some form of direction, and that's been the problem lately. It's not helped by economic policies that are happening now in the United States. If you're strongly socialist, you enjoy taxing, increasing taxing, government spending, and looking after basically people who can't look after themselves, I suppose, put it in a politically diplomatic way, that's fine. But from an economic perspective, it's creating a problem. Biden's openly said he's not coming back in any of his social programs, and they're based not on earned money. They're based on borrowed money. Everyone uses the Scandinavia as the rule of how social democracy can work. But it was funded by people happy to fund a few who are battling and would try to get out of that battling situation. It wasn't designed to help freebies crossing the border who want something for nothing, if you see what I'm trying to say. It's a bit hard, but I'm not a diplomat. But yeah, and that's why in Sweden, Scandinavia is breaking down. The only one seem to be getting away is Norway, because they managed to properly manage their oil wealth. More than most countries have done. Maybe Saudi Arabia not bad, they haven't got really tough. But most of these sort of, shall we say, highly infrastructure countries haven't really managed their oil wealth well at all. They sort of spend. They've done well, superbly well. So they can afford to do some looking after that. But yeah, but going back to the United States, their spending is out of control. It's getting ridiculous. And as I say, all these wonderful things they're buying up and doing, it's not their sodding money. I mean, it's borrowed money, and this is where the problem is. And yeah, and they're behaving basically like an irresponsible purchaser who ups his salary by 10 grand a month and then starts getting himself to 100 grand debt by just buying stuff on debt all the time until the thing falls in. Yeah, and that is really what is really worrying the economic world at the moment. That and the banks as well. We've had quite a few smaller banks, I remember all their names. I've never heard of them. You would have heard of either one, certainly. Are really on the edge at the moment. And the problem is, it's not just the long-term borrowings causing the problems and default on loans. It's because they're having to give small interest rates to stay alive. It's frightening off the savers. They're going elsewhere. They're putting money elsewhere, understandably. If you're getting a higher rate somewhere else, you're going to obviously pull your money. And that's creating a lot of issues as well. And that is sort of coming back to bite. They glossed over a lot of media chit-chat on the SVP situation, but that is just a soothing sort of international world panic, if you like. But if you sort of go below the surface, it's not pretty. And again, it's been brought over, not in the last 5 minutes, over a long period of time. Can't just blame the latest government in the United States. We've been building up for a long time. And it's just now, it's nowhere else to kick the bloody ball. There's no more road to kick the ball down. And that's why they're having to get stricter and stricter on reducing this problem through interest rates, but that is now pushing banks. So it's the cure is some people think it's worse than the medicine, or the medicines rather, sorry, or it's getting to the stage maybe it's just as bad as the bloody cure. And so it is an issue, and that's why we're getting these funny movements, because those in the know, which you now are, because I explained it to you, are extremely on tenterhooks. The only way, in my opinion, to rescue is, I hate to say, as long as you're not on board long, is a massive fallout, and then we can start bargain picking. But the knock-on effect, never mind your back pocket, but internationally will be hectic doing that. Because once the richer countries have trillions wiped off their wealth, they can't buy stuff from the poorer countries, they need to export to them. And they tend to, like always, the poor will always suffer more than the people who've got the financial defense, if you like. Like Haiti, an earthquake goes off and they can't do much about it. Goes off in Japan, they've got the economics to do something about it. And that's why the emerging economies are going to suffer even more, because they're very dependent on the so-called richer countries. I question their wealth. I think it's mostly borrowed money anyway. It's not true. But that's just a little bit of a soliloquy, just a chit-chat there, just to regale you with it, not to frighten you. We've got the ability now, we can get take advantage of it. We might sound a bit insensitive, but maybe profit out of it, but as long as one's aware of it. And as Coyote said yesterday, one thing about joining in this, he's been made far more aware of how the world economies work and how, quite frankly, the poor man is like the old famous mushrooms, kept in the dark, fed on crack, you know, and basically played, which is an absolute fact. Once you get to know what's going on, you realise how the masses out there are played by these guys with misinformation or just as bad half stories. You know, you still have the story, and the other parts left out, and the other parts left out makes a very, very different outcome. And that's basically what's happening. Or the triviality of most of the news programs now. I hardly watch them anymore. Just so trivial. Rather keep your mind on trivial issues and keep your mind off the big ones. Yeah. You can indeed. I want to sell this, Marius. I really want to sell it, but I just can't seem to find a decent price. Oh, hang on. Someone, thanks, was I'm waffling. He's doing his job. Is Marius, keep an eye on what's really going on. Aha! I've just looked at Sunny jumped. I've looked at earlier on this morning as about 1.113040, something like that. So what a better price. Now we're talking. Yeah. We're not going to get a trade out. Murphy's Law works. We're not going to trade out today. Now, if I'd said that, we wouldn't find a trade. Commentator's curse. Okay, well, it might be a positive commentator's curse. Will this hold or will it get to the 100? That's the point. It's right on the 1.12. Any sellers come in? Let's have a look. It's, oh, look at this on the 4-hour backup. Let's go to the weekly quickly. Yeah, it's a bit there. How far away is that? Quite a long way, but I can stop above it. But see, don't have to force the issue. What happened there suddenly? Oh, hang on. The things are fundamental. Just to check my fundamentals. Friday, anything on the pound? Pound 1030 construction, but that's the time. Make surely not 1030. I wonder what that is. That's interesting. Okay. CPI came out slightly less inflationary for the Swiss. That's interesting. So, there we are. Then. I've got it now. All right, so 2 instead of 3-star. I see that, but slightly less inflationary. So they won't be. They're on track basically. 0 area of worries there. That's great. The prices, in other words, haven't gone up at all. What a pleasure, eh? Live in the country, not a single price rise. It means your savings, the value of your money is staying. The value of the currency is sticking to like gold. It's got a value to it, which is good. The problem is because of that lack of expectation of some of the inflation, which clearly is not happening, they won't worry about interest rate increase. Don't have to. On that basis, it will weaken the franc. Will it be sustained? Don't think so, guys. Don't think so. The bigger picture, that's good news. Why do people turn to gold? Because it's stable. Why did we call Swiss francs a one to run to? Because it's stable, most stable of the lot. And that's a classic example of a zero inflation. That would be a dream to most countries. 10% in the UK. You worry about our country here. You worry about the Europe and America. UK is over 10%, the highest in the Western world. So I think that is going to come off. You might want to wait for a little bit of back breakdown or maybe confirmation, or you want to be fairly aggressive. And I feel on this one we could be fairly aggressive as long as we get a wide enough stop to make it worthwhile. Spotted. That's a daily, right? Well, that's plenty. We're up here somewhere. Get it out of the way. Yeah, we can take it up to the round figure 1.13. So I do like this. Well, spotted Smith. That's not going to work. We've got to take it a bit lower. So take a slightly tighter stop, maybe 85 pips. That might do it. Maybe we can do that stop. Maybe, well, do you want a higher? Where can we take it? I prefer wide stops, you know. We've been stopped out before and it's gone and it's hit target, but we've been stopped out. Yeah, but I don't want to take it lower than that. So we're going to have to do, let's have a go. See what we can do with this. Is that going to work? How far away is that? That will work, but is that going to be wide enough? We'll put it down. We'll put it down to here, 1.1065, just to cover the spread. 1.1065. Now that will work, but is that stop wide enough? Is that wide enough? It's out of the way, the 50, the 100, the 200, that should work. What do you think? Do you want a wider stop? You have to maybe do a slightly wider TP and push it a bit. But the point is, I have to say I like it. Yeah, that's true. It's coming out, but still like it. I still like it. Might want to settle down a bit. Let's see, 15 minutes. Just see any sellers are coming in. No, there's no sellers coming as yet. So let's wait. We might get a better price, and then we can get a better stop loss, slightly higher, and the TP can stay where it is. You get a bit better risk reward. But at the 15 minutes, still I'm still moving up. So should we just wait a few minutes? Write this down. This could be a nice one. Given this on today's. What time's it? Coming 10:30. I don't think that's going to let me stop this one. I've been chasing this for a while. Get it written down, keep a strong eye on it. Well spotted. Okay, just hang 5 on this one. We can look at something else in the meantime and come back to it instead of stare at this all day.
Roger, sorry, Marius mentioned this trade for a long. You
For a
don't
long?
see long in it.
Oh, sorry for a long. Beg your pardon. I so assumed you meant for a short. I didn't see it. We all make that mistake. We have this is the way our brain works. We make automatic assumptions because the brain is programmed that way. My brain it should be on more objective, to be honest. Programmed for short. Well, I don't know about a buy now. I'm not too sure about that.
No, I can understand because it's in the cell. The fact that it's below the 200. So you don't think with the bank issue that I've heard this morning, it seems that they're gonna get some legal issues with regards to the bonds that are worthless of that couple of 100,000 clients in Switzerland, and now the fact that the CPI is 0 and there's no really growth, and maybe the Swiss is just will weak further.
No, I don't think so. CPI is not lack of growth. That's lack of inflation. People want to have growth without inflation. The two normally go together. If you can get the lack of inflation and yet still getting the growth, remember, it's not totally dependent on manufacturing. Remember, I got about cuckoo clubs. It's because they've got enormous financial institutions with large, astronomical amounts of money stashed away in the Zurich banks, where out of the eye of the tax grabbers around the world. So I don't think that. No, I'll back the Swiss franc any day. You jump around like they always do. It's like I'm long on gold, not gold, but I'm rather buy gold and sell it, even though it'll go up and down. We can find one look at gold actually, but not. I don't think we'll do that before the non-farms. Can we get that in there? But no, I'm afraid I will stick to mine. I'll tell you what we can do. We often do this in here. Who likes to buy it? Who likes to sell it? If you want to leave it alone, okay, that's neither one of the others. Fair enough. But I'm pro a sell on this one, and Martin pro a buy. So if we look at the buy, we'll put it up and see what you think. We'll put the buy up here. We've got to put. I'd like to have the buy on the daily below here. Need to have it below today's range. It's only 10 hours. It's going to be too tight if you have it in the range, and you can still get it if you take the TP up there, and that could work. Yeah, that could work. Who likes to go for the buy, and who would like to go for the sell, and who would like to go for neither one or the other? Michael happy for a sell. 10 of those happy for a sell. 10 being close to. Try to get that right. 10. I'll do 10. That's easier. Okay. Yeah. Put this price up, really. You can see it. So a couple like the sell. Who likes the buy? Do you like the buy on it there? You're going to support your good friend, Mr. Murray, Mr. Marius, M&M.
Unfortunately, margin is knocking on my door quite badly at this point in time, so I'm sitting tight.
Oh, what a good bloody diplomatic cop out that is, eh? So he's sticking the boat. I love it. I remember that. So it's a bit like asking a politician, like when Mandela's asking his favourite music. He can't say it because everyone will then go and buy it. And if he said what he didn't like, everyone will go and trash it. So he's got to be careful. But I like it. Yeah, but I mean, obviously that's correct. And you've not much choice in the matter. At least you're being honest about it, because your opinion If you're not going to do it, it's still important, but you're not the same as doing it. Yeah, I think the euro took some of that money away, guys. Anyway, so anybody want to buy this one?
Badly.
Badly, yeah. Anyone want to buy this one? We'll do this first and I'll write it down. Anyone want to buy it? Need a couple of people to support this one. This is very much a trigger word. We were moaning like stuff. Well, I was anyway, like stuff bloody big yesterday in the training room about it. Complete nonsensical that was. Couldn't be more opposites, you know. Okay, Solly wants to buy it. I was three, a bit overexposure, but not really. Well, I suppose you could squeeze three, but probably better maximum 2 in one currency. But anyway, a bit late now. Yeah, so Solly agrees with you, Maurice. Anybody else agreeing with Maurice and along on this one? And I'll put it down, and then I'll say we'll do a short. We'll put it down and see how it works out. Anybody want to support? We've got Solly. You got Solly support, Maurice? Anybody else? Yeah, let's do the euro firm, and we'll stick to this one. Anybody supporting Maurice and Solly on this one? We go into market.
Yeah. I'm also.
Do you want to buy it? Okay. Please mute yourself, guys, if you're not interacting yet. GBP, CHF, buy, and Marius, and I'm for the sell. See how that goes. Roger. See what we do. Now, we'll do this one first. 1.1210, 1.1127, and 1.1356. And that's what's that now? $170 a month. Okay, on the sell, that's about right. Just a second. And slightly higher. There we are. On the sell, those are the figures on the sell. Who wants to do this one? Well, I'm for the sell and Maurice for the buy. See how it works out. We don't know till afterwards who's right or wrong. We might both be wrong. Might come down, stop us out, and go up and stop us out. Not being negative, but sort of cynical. 8, 9, 1.1059. And this is also 100, for instance, exactly the same for my firm. What do you want to do, Monday? You're going for it, yeah, but a sell or a buy? Who wants to do the sell? Going for it, I've got to know which way you're going. It's good for this because it's an exercise to everyone to see how different things work. Getting off the thing that it's set in stone, which way it's going to go. I'm for the sell. You're going for the sell, Wedson? Or are you going, sorry, not sorry, Wedson. You going for the sell or the buy on this one? Go for which one? Going for the sell, Jabalani. You like the sell, Anthony. Wedson's going for the sell. Got a couple of support there, so I've got it written down. Let's see how that works out. At the moment, slightly ahead is Maurice. It's gone up a couple of pips, but it's just the spread. See how it happens. There you are. I'll leave that up if you want to do it. I don't think I'm going to send it out to have it print out to everyone because there seems to be 2 areas here. It's not all agreeing with the one of them. So you won't, and the company does get a little bit wary about sending out non-farm today. Well, that's my idea. So they tend to send it, you know, because they get a lot of kickback on it as well, not just me. So fair enough. Okay, well done, Wedson. I haven't seen your name before, but I'm getting the impression that you leapt on it fairly quickly. You've got some experience in trading. That's good. That's fine. You're not completely started. Rules of the den, as I say, is basically interact absolutely. You can unmute, absolutely, and interact. And normally we get a trade idea. A lot of them come out, the ones you see sent out are coming not just from myself in the mornings, but coming from ourselves here. Not myself, ourselves here in the trading room. And that's very useful. And this is where we hopefully hone our skills. We get bad days. We've been mentioning like yesterday, we get some very bad days like that. But we also get some good days. And we all get very responsive the way we are. We get a bad day. Get some guys will put up there, well, hang on, I just did okay on the ABC or whatever. And that puts us in a slightly better mood. So, yeah. I know, so now I'm in WTI again. Yeah, slightly, can you believe it? Yeah. Okay, so that's great. In case a couple of UK guys there, I'm going to put it. Oh, sorry. Excuse me a second. Right, I'm just going to put the economic calendar for you. Wednesday might not have it, so I'm just going to do that. Copy and keep this handy. You often refer back to it, and what we call the DXY, or the dollar index. I know you get the euro index and Japanese index or whatever, but this is the one we've got to keep a big eye on. What is it? Oh, Japanese yen, sorry. Okay, right, put those down. I'm going to put my name down as well. Just give me a second. We'll do that in a moment. Your request there. Trading support. What? Yeah. Don't forget, only save and make use of it if you've got a funded real account. I beg of you, don't call me up when I give you advice. I find out here on the demo. Only on live accounts. Good. Stop. You can do what you like then. If you want to buy stop, absolutely. Got them down anyway. That's your choice. You can even do that, actually. That's not a bad idea. Hang on. Sorry, before the GBP JPY. That's not a bad idea. It's a good alternative there. Maybe a buy stop above here. How far away is that? It's only about 15 pips. And maybe a sell stop down here, maybe 50 pips below. That's the kind of straddle trade we're doing at non-farms. Maybe you can do that. Maybe you could have buy stopping. I'm not too sure that it might go up there, kick you in, and come off again. But you could maybe look at a sell stop or a buy stop. It's up to you. But I'm not sure about doing both. It might kick you in and come off and kick the other one in. But you could do maybe a buy stop above there and a sell stop. You don't go in market. I'm for going at market. I'm happy with that. If you want to do a sell stop, maybe just below the round figure, maybe 1.1190, and a buy stop maybe somewhere up here-ish, maybe 1.12, I don't know, 25 or something. A bit close. Wait, 1.2130, 1.2130, maybe 15 pips above or something like that. Might be an idea. But don't do both. Do one or the other if you want to do that as an alternative. With fundamental coming out, last thing you want to do is go up there, go to the high there, and then kick you in, and then it comes back. Then it kicks you in there, and then you're pretty wasting your time. You're going long and short, then that's not going to help you. The costs involved, wrong prices. Okay, we'd even do a 30 pip with above, but you could do that if you like. That's another alternative if you want to do that. But choose one, not both. If you think it's going to go up, do the buy stop. Things go down, do the sell stop. Place it 30 above. Can you ever just going to mute you all again? It's a bit of background noise, just putting me off a bit. Don't forget to remind me, and I'll unmute. It takes 2 seconds. Okay, so if you want to do that as an alternative, you can. But we've got the trades in. We'll see how they go. I like it like that. It's a bit of excitement. Good. Our goals. That's just not that. Have you all got it? Good. Come back to if you haven't. GBP JPY. What to look at? I forgot what you want to do with this. Where is it now? GBP JPY. Jabalani, okay. GBP JPY for a sell. These guys, that's a good point. Like Jabalani says, if you want to look at a trade, pick it up there, but say whether you want to buy it or sell it. Don't just say, can we have a look at the euro dollar? What do you want to do with it? Buy or sell it? That's great. Okay, want to sell it? Well, you know, my thing about after the Swiss franc, this is another very traditionally stable currency. And going forward, I do believe Japanese is going to be some strength coming forward. I do see it's in the buy zone, but I'm not sure that's going to be maintained. Although I do take the point in half an hour's time, there's going to be, it's getting what it is now. It's going to be the construction PMI. Reasonably important. It's not a CPI or a PPI or anything like that, but it's reasonably important. But yeah, but even though it's in the buy zone, I do see some downside there. I'm not sure. Maybe wait for a break of the 10-day moving average. That's a 10-day moving average. Simple, all simple, by the way. 50, 200, and 100. 100, 200, 50, and 10. If you want them, put them on, and then you right-click, go to templates, save the template, put your name in there. Put your name in there and save it. So if you do lose it, don't forget, all you do is right click, go to your template and click the one you like, and you're up and running again. And you can save different ones, one with a 10, one without the 10, one with a 21, with a 50, whatever you want to do. That's the beauty of it. Okay, yeah, so to be honest, I think maybe just a bit of a confirmed break, but I'm agreeing with you. As it pops up, the sellers are coming in. It tried to pop up just now. The sellers are coming in on the daily. Look at the 4 hour. Yeah, it seems to be holding on the 4 hour. Remember, they work at all time frames, except this is not the day 50 days, it's a 50 times 4 hour moving average. We'll try the weekly. Yeah, sellers coming in, didn't tell you a hell of a lot. 1 hour, similar, holding a bit there. Maybe a break on the 1 hour, a candle below that might be a bit more confirmation. But I'm leaning to the side of agreeing with you. I prefer to sell the yen and sell the pound and back the yen. I'm agreeing on that. What do you think, guys? Should we wait for confirmation, or do you think it's going to be a buy from there, or what do you think? My take is I agree. I think it could come further back. And don't forget, 10:30 is the construction coming out. Okay, Wedson, I'm tend to lean a bit on this side there. I think wait for confirmation. But Jabalani, good idea, I like it. Thanks for the proactive support there. Good stuff. That's what we want. Okay, I've posted the economic calendar to you and the XY. So forget, save it and keep it handy. I often miss it. We all do as human, but trying to remember, just check before you jump in. There's no major fundamental coming out in half an hour's time. And always check before you jump into, let's say, gold. You look at the dollar index. They tend to go in the opposite direction. We want to buy gold. We'll move on to gold now. We want to buy it, that's for sure. I don't know anyone wants to sell it. That's their choice, but I'm very much a buyer on it. But I'm hoping to buy it around about the 220 mark because I put the horizontal line in there. It's popping around a lot. But having said that, gold will be affected by the in either direction by any of the news coming out at 2:30 today. So I would probably be a little bit, well, I'm very certain, but not a little bit, about entering it at the moment. It could come back. I still think it's going to go up, even if it comes back and give an opportunity. But I would suggest maybe just being a little bit patient at the moment. It's a pity if you miss it and it does come right. It's up to 2-1. Most people expect to get there, including myself. But I think it could have a sudden pullback and get a better price. You might miss out, but that might take. And suggestion would be to just sit tight on gold at the moment, but keep it very much on your radar. Okay. Anything suggest? Any questions? Don't forget, guys, just think of that. If you want to get any information about the instrument, left click on it to highlight it, then right click, then left click on specification. That'll give you the contract size, gives you the margin, but it's full axis. You can buy or sell it. Yeah, and you can work out your leverage from it. You just divide your margin into 100, gives you your leverage. That's the information on it. So you can just check in anything. If you go to this one, you'll see the contract size is 1. So it's obviously far bigger volume to do than shares. So the contract size is only 1. And it'll give you there the margin, always 5%. unless the company changed it. It's always checking. It's always worth checking because they will change if they need be. It's been there for a while now. 5%, divide 500 is 20. So clearly the leverage on this is 20 to 1 on shares, just so you know. Okay. NZD for a short, I'm inclined to, without looking at it, agree with you. Yeah. Without even looking, I'm trying to agree with you. Okay, we're clearly in the sell zone. The weekly, right on a bit of support there. Let's put a line in for you there on the weekly and the daily. There we are. 4 hour. Shut up there. I'll give you a due. Let's put a bit more info on it, a bit more data. Let's get this out of the way. Yeah, there's a bit of resistance there. Any buyers, any sellers coming in? A few sellers are coming in. Well, I have to say I like it. Some people like stochastics. I mentioned this morning. I'll put that up. Wrong one. Sorry. Yeah, it's on a serious overbought territory. As I mentioned, that's not 15 minutes there. Sorry, very long. Serious, well, close to overbought territory. Right on support there if you're going short with this, if you want to go on. It's right about the round figure. It's a cycle area where a lot of people will be taking profit, around about that 56 mark. It's in the sell zone. And again, I'm going to back the Swissy over the New Zealand dollar. I think there's a possibility there. How far is it up to 50-day? 70 pips. You'd have to stop up here. I'm inclined to agree. Prince, you got to go and do some lessons, guy. You know, I mean, GDC is good till cancel on a pending order. It's got nothing to do with the market order. I'll come to that in a minute. Okay, NZD CHF. I'm agreeing with you, Tembi. Mark Shearer, I feel a funny feeling he's taking them with you there. He's not a comedian, he's a satirist. Like, what's his name? What's that brilliant satirist? What's his name again? You know the guy, Vida Besaid. What's his name again? He's on the Monties at the moment. The South African treasure, they call him. You know the guy, Vida Besaid. Okay, very serious. Peter Durkheim, that's the one. Peter Durkheim, yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'm agreeing. Yeah, I know you say, well, whatever you say, but I agree with you. Have we got any confirmation yet? 15 minutes, not much, maybe an hour. It's not a lot of confirmation, but I still agree with you. I see what you mean, yeah. Well, if you got it at 209 again, and therefore if you're missing out, it's 239 and it's bullish. I wouldn't quite too much. I wouldn't join it now anyway. Yeah. You don't know, Prince. You don't give one day or not. We can't tell how long you've been in the market. Look at the different candles for the daily, the monthly, the weekly, or whatever. One's a longish a candle, one's a smaller one. You could be in a day, you could be in a long time. We send out a trade and the market will do, the market will do. They're not going to be in 5 minutes. So we can't tell. Nobody knows how long you're going to be there. You can always close it, whatever. And the GDC, it's a pending order. It's not a market order. If you go in the market, it's in perpetuity unless you close it or you're stopped out. It's your TP. Simple as that. Okay. This is millions of people trading this. No one could tell. Is it going to go? I think it's going to come off. It could go up. Look what happened yesterday in the euro. I was very strongly convinced that was a great trade. That's why I advised it. Expect interest rates to go up, strengthen the currency, backed up a hawkish stance, and then it came off. This happened. That's why every stop loss, correct position sizing. No one's going to send out one. In fact, even I wanted to send out a bad one. Doesn't always work out. It's just difficult to get a bad one. It's a good one. The market can turn out bad one to a good one. You know what I mean? I need to know if there is support for the first-time traders regarding the buying and selling. Hi, Faith. Good day. How do you mean in support? Whilst you're looking at this trade, before we go to that, anyone want to do this? Should I put the risk reward up? If anyone wants to do it, if you don't, that's fair enough. We'll sort this out first. Go to the daily. Yeah, we'll put the stock clearly above the 50-day moving average. Just up here somewhere. It says, excuse me. Might want to wait for confirmation, it's up to you. Make it 56.70. And the TP you can put down here. 54.50. Nothing wrong with the risk reward there, hey? Okay, so before we get any further, you got the risk reward there, 150 bucks a micro or just over. Do you want to wait for confirmation? 56 seems to be holding. I have to say I like it. Yeah, I know. I hear you, Mark. Yeah, it's happened before. You know, you know what I mean. Yeah, so yeah, hear you. And there have been. You know what I mean? It's yeah. Okay. Where are we now? Yeah. Yeah. Anyone like it? Don't all shout at once. No, okay. Make sure you got margin for that. That's the gain, and you haven't got no margin in FP. That's fine. As long as you got enough margin, clearly. Anybody want to do this? If not, I'll knock it off. Looks like drop the line. It's just you and me seem to like it. Mind you, I think you're getting support there. Just want to keep enough margin for the NFP coming up. So that's fair enough. Okay, well then we'll leave it. Nobody seems to want to join us. Okay, never mind. All right. I just came back to any of the support first time for trade regarding buying and selling. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. How do you mean support? Support in what way? I need a bit more clarification on that, Faith. You get signals, you get trading room, and if you've got a funded account, you get access to myself to give advice. Yeah. Do you mean that kind of support? Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think it's about we've got here about 9.5 hours of was it 10 hours, something like that of today, with load shedding or whatever. And the record's going to be ramped up going to June because people need more heat. And there's live chat. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, there's live chat support on the website as well. And there's classes you need to go to and that sort of thing. We do give you the tools and hope you can understand and make use of them. Right. Okay, so we'll move on then. Not quite sure what to because I don't have any moment. I spoke quickly this morning with yourself, Etienne, and you're looking, what was it, what it was now, it's CHF JPY, that's right. Yeah, it's coming down, good. I think you took the trade, you said you'd take it with us, quite important. I haven't checked, but yeah, you've been doing okay at the moment. He wanted to sell this down, and I said, I want to buy it actually, but I want to buy it around the 150 with a decent stop this time, not like last time, where we got stopped out and it shot up and took the target out and went up to 153. We don't want that to happen again. but I want to buy this, but I just want to buy it if I can get a little bit like 150, something like that. And then some guys like yourself that could maybe sell it down. If you have done, then you should be in a bit of a profit, because we talked it was about 151 at the time. Okay, good stuff. Thanks, Faith. If you like stochastic, there it's crossed, eh? Okay, right. WTI. Somebody asked, should they buy it now? Well, I'm a little bit nervous for that because it will be affected, not maybe as much as gold, but it could be affected later on. But I'm already in it, so I'll be going to stick with that, as you can see. But not against it. I still see going to get some upside there. But probably better be a little bit more circumspect with the news coming out later on. But yeah. Don't forget, if you do get load shedding and you got a router, then it should be okay, because the router will, you know, runs off a battery, and as long as you got what you call it, a laptop with a couple of hours or so battery life, it's about a 10-minute battery life. My computer, you can update it, and I'm using every day full on, so the batteries won't last 2 hours anymore, but it's still otherwise fine. So obviously battery will last, but then just a router will solve the problem. Because I mean, clearly, with all this load shedding, you can't trade if you don't have access to the internet. Oh, I don't blame you, Peter. I'm over in gas. I've done all right. I mean, you made a couple of knots, but WTI, Brent, I've usually Brent the last couple of times has been far better to me than not being good. I reckon after the last, I don't know, half a dozen, maybe 10 trades, I don't know, I've done. I think only 2 of them gave me any flips. Neither the last one didn't, so I still got out in a profit and modified. So, and what now? I mean, it's probably about break even at the moment, something like that. Maybe just a spread. So I have no problem with it. NGAS just bores me to death. Oh, does it? I've got one of those little portable things. You know, when I go out, stick in the back pocket, so I've got access. Okay. If you want to see your trades, you do that. Right click, you knock off. See trade levels, knock it off, and it's not in your face. I put them down here. I don't like staring them all the time. Puts them in a bad mood or a good mood, depending, I suppose. But you know, you don't want to be fixated on the movement. Check it now and again. It just plays with your head, the noise. That doesn't matter, but I agree with you anyway. And gas is it's just, yeah, it's another story. That just not, it's a nothing burger in my opinion. Okay, dollar yen. We don't want to go to dollar now. It's non-farm days. I think that's got some chance coming off further, to be honest. But we will wait for non-farms. Please, guys, mention first come, first served. I think doing 100 maximum. So make sure you book your ticket by coming in at 2 o'clock. Come at 20 past, you might not get entry. And if you come at 25 past, I'm not going to let you in, quite frankly, because then you ask questions just before the release, and you won't have time to learn the mechanics of it. Being late for that is like being late for an interview. It doesn't go well. Well, to go off the subject trading, go back onto that. Mark's the guy to speak to, by the way. He's in the internet business. All I can use is like the consumer. I've got an inverter, big one, frigging big one in my head, which keeps me going. So I have no problems there of having that backup. I can't boil an egg on the stove, clearly, but that's not really the issue. But I've also got a backup router, portable one, and it's good value. It's 278, I think, a month, 280 or whatever it is anyway. And it gives me 50 gigs. So I've got plenty of backup there. So there's no problem there. I'm going to go out and about or whatever, and it's fast. It's good. I mean, if I want, I can do Netflix on it, which a lot of these routers certainly couldn't do that. It'd be too expensive on data on your phone. So it's quite good there. It's a good backup. So just I didn't get any backing from Mark on that. He knows what he's talking about there. But it's not a plug that runs off a battery. I always keep it topped up. So if anything happens like that, so I can just quickly go onto the backup. Hasn't so far so good. Yeah, but okay, it's like anything, it's cheap and very portable, and it's probably a little bit limited. I've got a bloody great thing, and that could probably last a little more than a day or so. And when you got all this load shedding coming on, like this morning, it was about midnight till 2 or whatever, and it came on again at load shedding, that is, came on again at 4. So hardly much time to top it up, but it's got so much reserve, I'm okay. But it's not cheap, 14K just out of interest. So it's not given away in a Christmas cracker, you know what I mean? But if you're in this business, you've got to have the tools to do the job. Like saying I'm a taxi driver, I've got a functioning car, so I can't afford to fix it. Well, you've no choice no matter. And I think the internet, you've got to have it, otherwise you're not in business. And that's the problem. Too many people are trying to do this on a wing and a prayer. Okay, all right. Let's see how GBP CHF is going. He moved back on the gold in the meantime. I don't see much movement actually. I think it's going to be sideways going into the non-farms. Looks like it's probably that much pretty sideways. You can see that. No surprise there. Yeah. I've done about 100K now. I'm sitting with one of those. Wow. If you got some, I've seen stuff for about 100K, which you can actually, you can virtually go off grid just about. I mean, you can use the stove and kettle and microwave and whatever. Once you get that kind of money. But solar heating, I think for a decent sized house, the cost is horrendous apparently. Anyway, solar panels, yeah. But mine's 14K, and so far it's been okay. It's handled all the load shedding, everything. You just have to wait. If I want to boil a kettle, I can't, but I can probably bug the thing up. But I don't run the fridge off it. It's a hassle as well. And of course, I can't. I use a microwave. I probably could, but I don't think I do any favors. Not designed for that. But I've got a thermos flask for tea when it's coming up. Yeah. Well, that's another thing. We talk about 100 grand, but if you haven't got 100 grand, now you've got to borrow the money, and now you're talking interest rates, and now you're going to pay double. So by the time you paid it off, 100 grand, you're probably paying 200 grand in interest, 100 in interest and 100 for the product. The problem. And I think the last thing the average South African now needs is more solid personal debt. Most of them, from what I've heard from Business Day, most middle class gainfully employed South Africans start running out of money before the end of the month because it's all getting out on paying off debt, basically. I've heard it's quite horror stories. They have to borrow money when the end of the month comes. And, credit cards are maxed and all that sort of thing. Make sure you don't max your credit cards, guys, and pay the minimum. That's a very important investment advice. Paying the minimum on your credit card is a license to give the bank lots and lots of money. I think it's about 18% interest rate, I'm not sure. But I'll keep mine under control. But it's hectic interest rates there. That I didn't know. Well, there you are. See that? Didn't know that. No. I'll see what you're out and about and come back to your house to burn down there. Or explode and you're standing next door to it. That I didn't know. That's like most things. If it's too cheap, you've got to ask questions. like you can start trading with $10. You know what I mean? It's yeah, it's got to be a catch. You know. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So far, touch wood, I haven't had a problem. I've had access. I just put it in my back pocket and off I go. My little portable thing, it's fine. I've never had a problem so far. Not I've been to Limborough Park lately. That's a jobo, by the way, for the guys who don't live here. I live here, I mean, as in up this part of the world. Okay, DBP CHF. Anything happening there? Probably a bit quiet, I'm guessing. Looks like I'm wrong here. It's going up nicely. Oh dear me. Sorry guys, you supported me. Wish you'd supported Faris. It's actually gone to the 100-day now. Looks like it's heading to this guy here. It might head there. Might head there. Actually, I haven't put the border in on that. Going to bed. All I've talked about everyone's support and I've done myself. What was the risk reward again? 170, slightly less than 150. I just go to the point one. Got my mouth off and I'm done it. There we are. Okay, well, so lost it there. Towers suffer when associate lose all data and voice connectivity when load shedding hits. Cell phone towers die within minutes. Yeah, that's a good point as well. People forget that. And sometimes you get that load shedding, they sometimes have delay in their backup kicking in, and suddenly you lose your internet. That has happened a couple of times on here. I've managed to haul out the router and rescued it, and then the Wi-Fi's come, sorry, the fiber's come back on again. But it says anyway, which well tabulated hassle it is. So far, Marius, you're in the lead at the moment. We've still got a long way to go, so maybe we'll see what happens later on. But it's in a bit of a cross at the moment. You're doing well. See what happens. Let's see what happens. Okay. Gone up a lot today, eh? I think you might get some profit taking this sort of level here, actually, to be honest. We'll see anyway. Okay. £10, just about to come up. Hey, it's just keeping on the pound. We're on the pound at the moment, so we'll go to 15 minutes. Half a minute left. Just a second. Talk about tea. And I have to get rid of somebody. Excuse me. Right, after anything happens on the 15-minute, yeah? Not a lot. What's the figures? Just check on my calendar here. You should all have it. Don't forget, if you haven't, let me know and I'll print it, place it there, paste it for you. 51.1, expecting 51. Sod all, basically. So I don't have to worry about that. So yeah, at least that's out the way. Okay, any questions? Anyone to look at? We had that NZD-CHF, do you want to revisit it? That Jabulani came out with, or leave it alone? It's popping up a bit. To 56, is it going to hold? Maybe wait for a breakdown. Still like that trade, we'll see what happens. Okay. Look at the pound, wow. 1.26. Yeah, that is high. Yo. So that the dollar there on. What's the dollar doing? The dollar's doing 101.3. So fairly weakish. Okay. Let's go back to our Euro friends. Anything happening there whilst we're just waiting for stuff? We get a bounce. It's due for a bounce, surely. I think that might come off. I like that potential sell. Get a confirmation on that. I think that might come off. If you assume, you know, that will come off. Keep an eye on that one. No man's land there. Still coming off strange, very strange. Start to come off a little bit, because that was a short some guys took. Starting to come off a little bit. EURNZD might get a bounce there. That we leave alone. NZDJPY, is there anything happening there? That's the one we got out yesterday. It's coming off a little bit. It might come to the party. This is giving me a bit of a worry, but it might come to the party. Yeah, but I think obviously wait for confirmation or whatever, but I think it's a possibility to keep an eye on this one. Might get some downside here. And I want to delve deeper on this one. Look at the weekly. Yep, might get some downside. That back up there. 4 hours. That's get jumped up suddenly, isn't it? Sure. Of course, that's a Swiss we talked about earlier on. Zero inflation. 68 pips. But will that last forever? A few sellers are coming in. Are they? Not yet, no. Here's a possibility setup. If this can hold on the daily, holds on the weekly, the 4 hour comes back again, we could maybe get something there. So just keep an eye on that one. We might get something there. I'm not keen on the dollar at the moment. It's with the news coming out of us too. I'm looking to sell it, but I don't want to do anything, buy or sell at the moment. I'll see what happens at 2:30. That's my opinion. What do you think? Do you want to do something with it now? That's my opinion, Mark, very much so. I mean, technically, you might think it's come that far. It seems to be a bit of a range. You could get a bounce and buy it. Depends what happens. But that doesn't mean anything that technical if the non-farms affects the dollar. Okay, been quite a lively trade room. I thought it'd be a bit of a quiet one today leading up, but it's been quite a lively trade room. My opinion, yeah. I think you've been quite aggressive to try and get cute. You might get lucky, but it's luck is the name of the game. If you trade on dollar before that, you're basically feeling lucky. That's good enough, fair enough. I'll look at the dollar pairs. That's a good chance. Normally speaking, I think that's a good chance to come off again. So, but not now. Yeah, WTI seems to be going up a bit. Did a bit of profit there. Start to ease into it. NAS, I think it's pretty sideways. Yeah, completely sideways. Look at this. No surprise there. That's telling you something, Scotty. Look at the NAS. That is one of the most volatile stocks we've got. It's in the index we've got. Instruments we've got. And look at that. That's a 15-minute complete indecisive, drifting along, waiting. And that's probably a good hint to you to do probably the same. Yeah. Euro dollar. Why would you use the dollar, Pete? That Tabu in is some people like the NAS. You can do it if you like, but the NAS you've got to do a wider entry levels because it's wider spread. I mean, the NAS is we're talking about a 15-pip spread there, so that's got to be overcome. There's no good putting a 10-pip movement. So you've got to probably put about a 30-pip movement. Yeah. So, but the euro dollar, as you can. Euro dollar, as you can see, is one of the tightest spreads we've got. Over a pip and a half, something like that. So I use the euro dollar, and I'm going to put 10 above and 10 below. Okay, all good. Happy with that, Pete? Go. Got a couple of you guys joining. Welcome. I think I've seen the name before. Welcome. This is the trading room. It's like a forum where you interact. You can go on the live chat there, the meeting chat they call it on this thing here. Or you can, now you're muted, just make sure you can interact by chit chat as well. I just don't have it on if you're not interacting. I don't hear background noise. That's why I had to mute. And I'm muted now if you want to chit chat. And yeah, so there we are. Quiet moment. And since it is joined, I'm just going to put up the two things that could be of interest. Copy and paste this, and you guys. That's the dollar index and the economic calendar, also very important. Keep an eye on that. That's the fundamental news we talk about a lot. And yeah, remember trading with for those people who've done the classes, got some basic knowledge and know how to operate the platform. It's not where you come in, yesterday I've heard the Forex, now today I'm going to come to trade and learn how to trade it. No, you need to get the basics, otherwise you might get a little bit, say, overwhelmed a bit. They assume you got some background. I've got guys in here who are trading regularly, who have done it before, I've done this stuff, and they want to go in and advance their practical trading knowledge. They don't want to be held up by somebody like myself giving free training, and more of that, they'll be highly irritated because they paid for it, some to get it for free. How's that going to work? But more importantly even than that, I think it's just time taken up on explaining something which is holding other guys back from a trading perspective. So if you've done the basics, welcome, and it's an ongoing process. Not quite pick up classes now I can trade. It's not quite as simple as that. Okay. But interact, ask questions, and if I've got time to feed them, I certainly will. If I don't know, I'll say so, and somebody else might be able to help you, but I don't know. Got some canny guys in here, they'll probably all help. Okay, anything else you'd like to look at in the meantime? 20 minutes to the close, so we'll go over a few things. I haven't got any more trades to look at the moment. The EuroCHF, we want a bit more confirmation, is what I'm looking to maybe get. We're getting it in the moment. So yeah, it looks like your GBP is still going up. Just a quick look at the price there. So well done, Maris, so far. And yeah, It seems to be coming right, but we'll see. Okay, yeah, anything you're not sure of, you want to discuss? We can do a bit of clarification rather than training here. I think you've all got my number now. You've all got the economic calendars. You've saved your charts, all those sort of basics. I can spend a couple of moments explaining when we're in between trades to clear that comes first. Yeah, it seems to be moving still up, doesn't it? Well, obviously, that's why we wait for confirmation. GBP CHF is going up still. Look, I still think that's going to hold here. But are you clicked in yet? You might have, your buy stop might have kicked in there, Marius. But sorry, guys, you went short. You're not looking pretty. The guys went long. Start to smile a bit. If it gets to 200, you might get some noise. You might want to protect yourself by modifying your stop, so you're not going to get to good stuff, Marius. So if it does come back, at least you won't get knocked out. If you got in round about the 10 mark, it's already 35, well done. Make sure you don't take a loss in this trade. Get your trade up to entry, your modified stop loss to entry, protect yourself. And if it starts coming off of the 200, maybe just take it if you feel that it's going to come off and then you made a profit. And then when you've won all along, and maybe then you short it down and make join us on the shorts and come right, see what happens. Just going to read this quickly. It's all about the pound, but didn't have much on my manager said it lately. But the figures come out of the pound, wasn't much difference than the expected. Okay, fair enough. Well, it's going to be coming in on that, so okay. Where it's going to be sustained, another story. Anyway, if it takes out the 200, then we've got to accept the fact. Well done, guys, and we're going to put another bloody cross against my name. Just a little tip on fundamentals. Obviously, it's vital to keep yourself well informed, like you guys are doing there. But remember, try and fundamentals trading on its own is not good enough, because the market responds pretty quickly in the price action to a fundamental release. So by the time you read the article, it's usually in hindsight. So it's absolutely be aware, but don't just think, oh, that's the article there. You've read it now and jump in on it. You know what I'm saying? I always use the expression like a bomb goes off in the Persian Gulf. By the time you've heard it, the market price react to it. It's no good stopping the car and getting out and putting an order in, because by that time the market responded. But it looks like it's really doing its thing here. See if we can get a pullback at the 50. Sorry, the 200. But well done, guys, so far. The one who went long. Sorry about that. The guys have supported me. That'll teach you.
But it shows you there's something seriously wrong with the Swiss franc.
No, I just think it's more of a reaction to the fact that inflation was zero compared to it thought it'd be a little bit higher. So obviously it's throw out anything to do with interest rates. So the word talking to is about another 40%. They think that's now not going to happen. That's why that Swiss suddenly weaken like that. But will it be maintained? And such a strong setup they've got overall there. Is another story. And that's more knee-jerk. I think that's just giving a chance to guys who want to buy the franc, no short this one, buy the franc at a better price. I think this could be an opportunity to look at the Swiss franc once we get the pullback, which I think is going to happen. Don't know clearly, but that's why I'm waiting for confirmation. And that's a big jump. Remember that? And so what's that now? Yeah, so that's a lot of jump. And I'll be very surprised. Not a lot of TPs there. Guys are getting in down here, buying it. A lot of TPs there. There'll be a lot of people taking profit, which means they're selling, which in theory should bring the price down. So I think it might reach exhaustion there. I'd be nervous holding along and selling the franc much past that area there. I'd be very nervous. Person, yeah, could be wrong. It's totally wrong yesterday. Couldn't be more bloody wrong, but so I teach you humility this business. Teach not to get too far ahead of yourself, eh? Okay, so if you went long, just don't say jump out of it, but be somewhat circumspect. If it doesn't take out the 200, you don't want to turn a winner into a loser now. Be aware of that. For the Marius supporters on that trade. A little bit, yeah. Let's see if we confirm, but yeah. That's why I have these guys here. They're very important. I find that far bigger aid to trading than all these stochastics. Oh, moving area. Very, very important. And they're internationally used, which basically means they tend to often be self-fulfilling. If you see it, you're going long, you see this guy here, very likely to put your TP there, and you know what I'm saying? That's where you're going to be aiming at. Or if you're going short, you want your stop loss above that. Hope you're all clear on that. All good so far? Okay, you guys, you all got the calculator. Please get the calculator and don't do it on shares. If you don't have anything shares, Boris, go to a couple of classes, please. But this is only for non-shares, for a better way of putting it, and so you can work out your volume. If you've got small amounts of money, you have to look at 0.01, and even then, you've got to check to see the risk is not going to overexpose you. They are going to be bringing plans in to try and encourage people to put in tradable amounts in their account, because we're having extreme problems with guys putting diddly squad in and basically coming and saying, I can't trade. Well, you have to trade because you haven't got enough balance to go into trades. And even if you do have enough balance for the margin, and you're going to know what I mean by that as well, you're going to be grossly overexposed. You know, if you've got 100 pips stop, which let's say you got 100 rand, 150 rand is your risk per micro, you got a couple of rand in your account, you're grossly overexposed, you can't trade anyway, even if you could get in on a highly leveraged account. And we're trying to get the guys to understand this. They're trying to empty a swimming pool with a teaspoon, you know what I mean? It's yeah. You're along in AUDNZD now, have you? Okay. Perhaps see if we try to move up. Maybe it's on the shorter term one. Maybe it's on the 15-minute you're talking about there. Yeah, on the 15 minutes, yeah, it's very short term, but that's ridiculously short term. Okay, I can't really add much to that. Not saying I get involved in right now in this particular one. Okay. Last WTI is good stuff. Yeah. That's about all I can add at the moment. Track actually no problem tracking the CAD JPY. I'd rather sell the CAD and buy the yen at the moment to get a decent price. Yeah, it's a bit of a that might come down from there. It might pop up here. I don't know, but yeah, that's one I wouldn't be buying at the moment. It might get about further up after such a big move down, But I'm still a favour of selling them rather than buying it up. It's up to you. Could get up to here. How far away is that? It's bringing above the 10-day moving average as well. That's 100 pips. It's certainly a lot of meat on the bones there if you want to buy it up there. I'm more rather sell it if I can get there. I'm backing the Japanese yen at the moment as a stronger currency. But we'll see. Anything else, ladies and gentlemen? So it got there. It looks like it's heading there. Yeah. Now the next question is: he going to hold or break? That's the big question. Is it going to hold or break? Watch that if you're long, guys. Certainly modify your stop. If you got in at if you got it 1210, you're 40 odd pips profit. Mess cost say 35 pips profit. It comes off, maybe worth taking it or modifying the stop loss or doing something just in case. Yeah. Okay, that's great, Kearney. Good stuff. Okay, yeah, of course, the 50th. Absolutely. See you at 2. Hope we do some more celebrating there as well. Good way. That would be a good wedding anniversary present. We get a decent bloody NFB working out for you. Actually, if anybody didn't, any you leave it alone, guys. I'm thinking if that comes off here and didn't get that might be an opportunity to sell it down. And the guys who took the profit and the buy, well done, might get an opportunity now to sell it down to get the best of both worlds that way. And yeah, I should put the yields up for guys as well. Good point there. We've got the now. We can put to 1 day or whatever you want to do. Just take a note of anyway. US 10-year. Note the yields on the 10-year note. Let's look at JPY one, see if that's happening at all. I really want to buy this and get the right. Aha. Well done. You got more guts than me, Mr. Joubert. He sold it down. Well, he said so. I don't know if he actually took the trade. I haven't checked. But he said he's going to sell it down to the 150 mark, and that's why I want to buy it. And I thought I'm a bit nervous of it, but it would have done you the big favor. Well, bloody done if you took it. But it's getting near the 150. If that comes down to 150 and holds, I'll definitely be keen to getting that one. It gets whether you want to put a pending order in or whether you want to see what happens and see if it bounces first, probably wise if you got the time. But I want to get it 150. Where's 150 on here? There we are, got it. That's where I want to get it. Buy it now. This time I'll have to stop down here somewhere. Yeah, I'll have it right down there out of the way. But wait till it bounces. I think if it does get to 150, I think probably more wise to wait to see if it does bounce. Yeah. Appreciation. Yeah, see what you mean. Okay, Morris, see what you mean. Checking my figures there. Yeah. I do. Yes, I agree. But I think guys who took the long are going to get the cake and eat it, yeah. Because I think you start looking, getting out of there, taking your profit and selling it down. Because you know, I wouldn't keep your finger. I'd be surprised if it gets back to 140, 1.14 right out there. You see what I mean? Why I say it's important to use these rather stochastics. If you can, I'm not backing up stochastic or other indicators, but look right on the 200, bang on it. Okay, any last questions before we close up till 2 o'clock this afternoon? Remember, please, if it's a limited amount of people come in, and it's usually pretty popular, so don't come in and take somebody's place by coming in on your demo account, or you got $100 or something in your account. Rather, don't bother, basically, because you never find to make use of it. And other guys, please come on time. I'm going to ask Clinton to join me. He'll take space up to let people in, because quite a few come in, and I lose my thread trying to admit them. And I'm going to ask him maybe at 20 past 2 not to let any more people in. If they can't rock up on time to it, I haven't got the time, not rudely, but I haven't got the time to explain the trade to them before it's time to place it and wait for the figures. So try to be there before 20 latest, but preferably on time at 2 o'clock. And then, yeah, we can take it from there. And if you already know the mechanics, you drift in after, it's up to you. I'm talking about new guys who've got the money, wanted to learn the mechanics of it. I'll explain the mechanics during that first 20 minutes. I agree, Etienne. I think so, absolutely. Bit late to say otherwise, we're in it. But yeah. Yeah, like I said to the guys, got the long, now I get a chance to take the short. What a pleasure. So I said that, good to get to go short, jumps up here. Murphy's law, right? All right, guys. Any other questions before we just clean up then? All good. Fantastic. Okay, those can make it. See you later. Cheers. Awesome, Festus. Great to have you here. Hope to see you too.